right, this is all in recognition of the passing. This is a eulogy for Diamond, Dorothy Diamond Dee Morris. Known as Diamond D, she was the chief editor and publisher of Gasser Wars magazine. Her passing leaves a huge void in the world of gassers and nostalgia drag racing. It's not just from the publishing aspect, but also her participation as a racer and a goodwill ambassador. No matter where she went, there was always a smile on her face and a warm greeting for whomever she met, especially kids. Dee ran her blown alcohol-altered for 18 years with her quickest run of 198.23 miles an hour with an ET of 7.77. Dee started going to the drags at age 15 with her husband Phil. She always wanted to ride in Phil's Angler, but sadly today will be that special day. Dee remains are in a 2-gallon Moon tank. After being at all of the events over the years, including the NHRA Hot Rod reunions, the Meltdown Drags was easily her most favorite event. Good Guys and NHRA also published her obituary. The thing that I remember most about Dorothy Diamond Dee Morris was the way she handled kids. There wasn't a kid that stepped over by Gasser Wars magazine table that didn't go away with a photo or something and a hug. I mean, she was really, really outstanding, an outstanding personality. Mark Dietrich.
That's right, and I remember the first time I met her, she was willing to sit down and talk about all kinds of stuff. It was a beautiful thing. Now what you see coming down the track right now, these are cars that are going to be in the Cackle Fest a little bit later on today. The Nuttin' But Trouble AAMS Austin Healey, owned by TK Thompson and Sons, the Broke as Hell Garage out of Rooster Ridge, Mississippi. The Buck Naked Funny Car 63 Chevy Nova out of the same garage down in Rooster Ridge, Mississippi. The Hillbilly Hemi, the white dragster right there. 369 cubic inches of Chrysler Hemi power. Tug Thompson, co-owner of that car. I do apologize if we don't announce all of your vehicles. We may not have information on all of these cars, so I do apologize in advance. A big thank you to the Cackle Cars for getting together this year. The first ever Cackle Fest here at the Meltdown Drags. And I would like to extend a big thank you to Phil Morris for keeping the magazine going and coming out here and spending this year here at the Meltdown Drags after the passing of Dee. I know it was a hard decision to make, but he wanted to come out here and celebrate her life this weekend, and that's what we're doing here with the tribute parade. And all of the racers that are involved in this were touched by Dee in one way or another. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are bringing out the Gassers in tribute of Diamond Dee Morris and all of the racers that have been affected and touched by her throughout the years. And there is the machine, the 48 Anglia, owned by Phil and Dee Morris. Dee always wanted to ride in her husband's car, and it's happening today. Al Lindgren, owner of the 41 Willys Coupe, the Bedford Gray, original color on that car. Bones Ballow riding shotgun. 1956 Chevrolet Power. The Chevy Coupe, Gerald Seeger, Ed Iskandarian riding shotgun in the 1937 purple Chevrolet. He raced that car before he went to Vietnam in 1967. The 55 Chevrolet Gasser, Kevin Doolittle and JoJo, found in a hayfield sitting on top of a hay wagon in New York in 2005. The Anglia Gasser, Jim Meisen family. Jim was the 1965 NHRA Division II champion and gas dragster. The 1948 Anglia Flip Top, Scully's Psychedelic Pearl. Bob Lorkowski, the original owner and builder of that car, got the car back after selling it in 1973. He got it back in 2016 after searching for it for 43 years. The 1951 all-steel Anglia, the Green Goblin, Al Borowski, the driver, Brian Borowski, the crew chief. Sponsored by Scott Rods, Fiberglass, Mosier, Casales Truck, the Scott Rods machines coming down. The red 1933 Willys, Ed Kosicki, pulled by his brother Ray. Licensed, insured, and driven to some local cruise nights. How about that? The Gold Gasser, the 1933 Steel Willys, Mark Benjamin, the owner and driver. Thanks to Scott Rods, Scott and Kathy Lieber, Jim Casales for the sponsorship. 1957 Corvette, Bob Cook, the Crazy Grandpa, Big Block Chevrolet. The Ron Bizio Willys pickup, driven by Jeff Cryan, owned by Jeff Cryan and Jerry Gasser from Buffalo, New York. The original Gasser built by Chuck Finders. Raced out in California years ago. The Anglia, Brian Spots, right there with the flags on the back. The original steel 51 Anglia, one of the Scott Rods Gassers. 1941 Willys Coupe, the Green Machine. Martin Steed, the owner and driver. Father and son owned, operated race team. Unfinished business, the 1948 Austin, Mike Kalinowski. From Buffalo, New York, Dee will be missed by all Gasser racers. There's the little bit. Orange 51 Chevrolet, Greg and Chris Grubel. Been racing for 20 years with that car. We're trying to do this sort of in order. 61 Ford Falcon, Gerald Griffin. Car found abandoned in a storage locker. That little black Ford Falcon. The Timosic Willys. The Ford Falcon following. The Innocent Rascal Chevrolet, I believe that is. Ford Falcon. Mr. Excitement. The Revenger, Anglia. Jim Howe Jr. Tom Cray, Cadillac Powered Willys Coupe, the Orange Machine. Johnny Rotten in the Rotten Orange. Chevrolet from Michigan. Bill Wombolt in the 55 Chevrolet. The 1965 Dodge Coronet Altered Wheelbase Machine. The Rapid Apparatus, Joe Hickenbottom out of California. The Red Willys, Glenn Stefano. Nick Schervino in the Iron Man 57 Chevrolet. The Scott Hammock Studebaker. That's the first time Ron Colson has been down the drag strip in that car since 1962. He originally drove that car back in 1962, and he is taking a run down the track once again for the first time since 1962 in that machine. Like I said, I apologize if I miss a car here and there. Don Moyer, the Rebel Reaper Willys, the Haymaker Willys pickup. Cheryl Kaiser in the 29 Ford pickup. The Studebaker Champion. The Mr. 56, 1956 Chevrolet, Eddie Hawkins. Dave Zielsdorf, the Kingbreaker Chevrolet. Carly Stupar in the little too sassy Chevrolet. And I believe, nope, we got a few more coming. We got a few more cars coming yet. A big tribute today. Big tribute to Diamond Dee Morris here at the 2018 Meltdown Drags. Mike Bellina in the 56 Chevrolet, currently of Indiana. Alan Don Nasi, Top Fuel Dragster. One of 12 built, only one left known to exist. The Mr. C machine. Beautiful rear engine dragster. And we still have some cars coming. There's cars moving around. We still have some cars coming around the bend.
Cackle Fest time has arrived. Larry Walnick, Darien, Illinois. Cackle Fest car built especially for 3 events: the 2 Hot Rod reunions and the Meltdown. David Stewart. Rex Stevens will be next. Look at this. Wow. Unbelievable. The Guardian. Look at this thing. Think of the work. Think of the hours that have went into this. A labor of love, obviously. What a beautiful piece. I think in the early days of drag racing, this would have been listed as a fuel competition coupe. Then we've got an L Speed Shop car. Geez, familiar with that name. Yeah, check out the fire suit. Probably one of Jim Dee's first. L Speed Shop, North Aurora, Illinois. Probably 3 generations involved in that car. Jason Mettler in the little red car with an injected Chevy. What are those, Kinzer? Or, yeah, but the injectors, they're not Hilburn, because Hilburn were straight up and down. Oh, this car was so famous. Odie's Automotive from Ohio. Wow, what an honor it is to have the Odie Smith Automotive, Akron, Ohio, Fiat. This was just an outstanding car in its day. Wow. Wow. A Fiat. Fiat Coupe. I was misled. I thought these guys were going to fire these things. At 9 o'clock tonight, you'll hear the roar. You'll see the flames. That makes more sense to me. 9 o'clock tonight, then you can really appreciate these things.